Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of FPL Jedi Show. This is Game Week 37 pod, and it's a big one. The Double Game Week 37 is upcoming. My name is Hafiz, and would like to welcome my co-host Azmin to the stream. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's only just hitting me that it's only 2 game weeks left till the end of the season. Yeah, so it's been a roller coaster. My season hasn't gone off as well as I would have liked, but still in it, and hoping for a good end to the season, both for me and for Liverpool. Although Liverpool's chances are getting very hard at this point.
Right, man. I think this is our last chance for Double Game Week because there will be like 6 teams we're gonna play twice this week. This is our last chance to get that big haul. Who knows? We got that 100 points or more for this week. I think this is the last chance that we can get right.
Yep, that's right. Last chance. Let's take a look.
All right, man. For sure, there's a lot of talking point for this week. I can say a lot of injury has occurred from last week. We want to mention about Shah. We also want to mention about Maguire, who looks like going to miss for the rest of the season. We also know about Van Heck injury for Brighton. A lot of defenders injury. We also concerned about Bruno Fernandes. He's missing from game week 36 against Crystal Palace. So we shall see whether he can play this week. Is a concern, but we're going to explore whether what option that we can do if we have Bruno Fernandes, like myself. And we take a look because this is the penultimate week of the season before we are going to end next week, man. Only 2 game week left. Some people have 2 transfer left, 3 transfer left, or you take a hit, maybe 4. So everything counts, man, right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's hard with some, but we'll take a look, at the relegation battle as well as the league title, as well as the fight for Europe as well. Take a look.
All right, we will have first of all take a look at our team review for game week 36, how we perform. Take a look at the team of the week. Also, fixture ticker, the team left with 2 game week who are having favorable fixture for the next 2 at least, and then we plan for the best player to target for this game week 37. You might have some player who playing single game week who you intend to jump on who are playing double this week. So we shall see who's the potential player that we can target. Game week 37 fixture, the captain pick for this week, and what is our transfer plan. All right, man. Quickly on my team first, I scored 106 points. An important week for me, 100-point club for, and then I get a small green arrow, but at least a green arrow from 29k to 24k. Yes, you can see my team. I think the most big one is Haaland captaincy. I think that's the biggest one. If you're uh, trying or chase other players, because Haaland are not performing of late, but this game week he suddenly turned out with 4 goals. And you know what happened? He scored 21 points, got that 4 goals, that 3 bonus point, blah, blah, blah. And that's where I got that 42 points from Haaland. I think most of players who actually Captain Haaland got their points. But other than that, disappointing for Man City asset. Foden only 1 assist. And Walker without any attack return, only that 2 goals because Man City concede. And we shall touch later who has been performing on Man City backline. It was Guardiola again last week, 15 points. This week, an assist and a bonus point. He got at 6 points. So well done if who actually jump on Guardiola, because on my wildcard, at one point I had Guardiola in my team. But because I have extra cash, you know what I mean, right? When you have extra cash, then you gata and trying to being clever and get players who feel could perform better than Walker. And yeah, for now, only get me 2 points. But we shall see whether he can perform in game week 37. In terms of Chelsea, I said triple up. Petrovic another clean sheet, so I'm happy with that. Palmer 8 points, and I think the big one, Jackson with that 2 goals and 1 assist, and that got that 60 points. I think that is what people are expecting. If you jumping on Jackson, so lucky enough he performed at the right time for his owner. He's still in low ownership, if I'm right, around 10% or maybe slightly higher right now. And what else on the cards for my team? Gabriel, Arsenal continue to perform a clean sheet. Gabriel could easily get a goal, if not that
Yeah.
Havertz um, declared as a offside, and then only I think he got that one bonus point, 7 clean sheet. So I'll take that. But the story about Maguire, who actually missed out in that Manchester United game. But if let's say Maguire played, they concede 4 goals, so maybe I got 0 point anyway, right? So Poro come in with 0 point because Shah also did not play. So there's nothing too much to say because Spurs also concede 4 goals, so 0 point there. So
Yeah.
nothing we can say. Gordon got an assist because before this, prior to this game, a lot of sentiment mentioned that Newcastle might not be able to perform away. So Gordon actually got an assist. He could easily got another assist if not that I said missing the penalty. So I said only got 7 points, missing a penalty, but he actually got I think 2 goals or 1 goal. And Son come in from Bruno Fernandes, who injured and did not turn up in the squad. So I got a 7 point. If let's say Man United played, maybe he got nothing. So I'm glad that to have that 7 point coming from my bench from in the form of Son. So that's my teammate for this week.
Yeah. So firstly, in reality, if Maguire had played, they may have not conceded. It's quite possible. So we'll never know. So it really is just a case of, but because Manchester United had injuries to Maguire and Bruno Fernandes, which the absence of Bruno Fernandes meant that the attacking threat was considerably dropped in terms of levels, and that meant that Crystal Palace was able to focus on just attacking and also put Maguire. So yeah, it's a bad luck for a lot of us who went for Maguire, but we just have to move on from there. With the Arsenal win, yeah. So Gabriel, although in a way, I'm glad Havertz was offside. Not so much because of Gabriel, because it's just that the way Arsenal broke the deadlock was thanks to a Havertz dive, and where he just dragged his feet to ensure that he hit contact, because no one runs like that. If those who saw the video, to get the Saka penalty. So yeah, I mean, credit for Arsenal for finding the way to victory, but the way Havertz did it was just and how the refs got conned by it just felt like gave me a bitter taste in the mouth. But never mind.
I think Saka owners won't mind that because he got that penalty,
Nope.
right? So
they won't mind at all. And I'm also bitter because I did sell Saka instead of Salah, and Saka has been returning since I sold him. Yeah, so definitely no bias there. But well done. I mean, obviously a lot of the wildcarders for your game week, Gordon, Isaac, and maybe Jackson as well were more popular than some of the more popular picks, together with the other two Chelsea, which is Palmer and Petrovic. It's great, and in the sense that you are more or less almost prepared for your double game week 37. Bruno Fernandes should be back, so it's really about what are you going to do with Maguire and Shah, if anything. Yeah. So
looks likely they might be out for the next for the rest of the season. So I think that two player is someone that I need to address, and I hope Bruno fit to play. If not, I need to tackle him. All right.
Yep.
Let's go to your team. You scored 94 points, man. But I think you took a hit. But at least you got that green arrow.
Yeah. So Braithwaite, again another return. So not very. Still happy. I was an assist, by the way. Um, the Spurs, yeah, pretty much zero for all Spurs defenders. What a hogwash that was for Spurs. Salah as the captain instead of Haaland. So, it was okay. I did. Salah did had his resurgence after that supposed tiff between him and Klopp. I really expected him to bounce back. He is the sort of person who can really bounce back really well, and he did. Unfortunately, because he bounced back a bit too much, with quite a few shots off target, which dragged his bonus potential down to the point that despite having 1 goal and 2 assists, he ended up with 0 bonus points, which was incredible. But it is what it is. So as a result, he ended 8 points less than Haaland. So I'm confident that if potentially if he had scored one of those missed points, then he would have gotten 18, and chances are he may have gotten more the bonus points as well. So he could easily have ended up on 21 as well. So but that's water under the bridge. So Son, Foden, disappointing. I pretty much cursed Foden, by the way. Ever since I picked him yesterday and he disappeared last week and disappeared because illness, and now in a 5-goal trilogy, 5-goal victory, he only got an assist. So well, them's the bricks. Didn't do the same for Haaland because I as you remember, I brought him in, Haaland and Maguire taking a hit.
Yep.
And and it was the right move, because if I didn't have Haaland, boy, I would have seriously dropped big time in ranking. And that's it really. And Muniz was disappointing. I watched that match right until he got hauled off. He got right after he got subbed off for Jimenez, and it does, given the state that the league is in now, I do feel that he's also a starting risk already, because with Jimenez back and Fulham nothing to play for, Marco Silva could tweak around. Yeah, so Garnacho, of course, he's still there. He has to continue to be there for my double gamer regardless, because Manchester United are running out of time to get into the real pro, but they do have 2 matches, so they're gonna still try.
Right, man. I just want to mention about this. We mentioned bold move, captaining Salah over Haaland. This thing can happen. Haaland decided to explode this week, but Salah, if I'm a Salah owner, they mentioned about 1 goal, 1 assist, right? And 2 assists, right? And no bonus point. I will be disappointed, like I mentioned to you offline. And
Gakpo had 1 goal and 1 assist, and he got the 3 bonus points. So it goes.
Yes, Gakpo 3 bonus point, Elliot 2, and Robertson 1, and Salah got nothing. So I'll be really pissed off or disappointed, but continue, because you have 2 weeks more. If you want to go differential, this could be the time. You got nothing to lose. If Haaland did not perform this week and you captain someone who maybe can match or maybe perform better this week, later we see the fixture. Who knows, right? And you get the haul and you can actually improve your rank. 2 weeks more, and then let's finish on a high note. All right?
Yep, let's finish high.
Okay. Quickly on the team of the week, game week 36. If you have this team, you're going to have got that 158 points last week. So in goal, Olsen 12 points. Aston Villa, right? Oh, sorry. Is it Aston Villa? Yes. How he got at 12 points and Villa concede? Actually, he saved a penalty. And then João Pedro scored from the rebound, but he got at 12 points. So, well, nobody going to go Olsen, but Olsen is the keeper of this week. And then triple off of Crystal Palace assets, because Crystal Palace decided to trash Manchester United 4-0. And Munoz, Mitchell in the mix with 13 and 12 points at the back. And only say 2 goals and 3 bonus points for sure. 16 points altogether. Who else in this team? Your teammate, Robertson and Salah, 13 points apiece from those players. Arsenal assets, no Saka, no Havertz, but Rice, another player who maybe can I say under the radar, 40 points from the Mr. England, and Hudson Odoi from Forest. Forest really won a victory away to Sheffield United. If I'm right, uh, Hudson Odoi scored 2 goals and got get that 15 points. Haaland, no surprise, 21. And we did touch about Jackson, 16 points. So altogether, this is the team of the week. Main any pointer in terms of maybe this could be an indication which player we should get in game week 37.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much, I guess, because at the end of the day, when it comes to Game Week 37, we are limited in the sense that we're probably all aiming for double gamers. So there's not really that many double gamers here, aside from Jackson, Haaland, who everyone has. So Jackson is the only one, isn't it? And those of you who are carded into 35 can probably already have him already. So it's really up to those who don't have him, whether or not they want him. There has been some talk on the internet about is Nkunku going to be a threat, because it looks like he may already be returning from injury. But having experienced Nkunku returning from injury before, I doubt it. They're not, he will be, at the most, he'll be benched and come in as a sub. And I expect that to happen for the rest of the season, because they're not going to, there's no point risking him, let him go back to full fitness. Yeah, and Jackson's on form, let him continue. Yeah, so there's no issue there. So the other thing is, if you want to really go for differential, in the sense that Hudson Odoi, because he's fighting for something, and Forest are still fighting, and he's cheap enough. So but of course the problem again is a single gamer. Palace, but well, it's more of an indicator for next season, really, because Palace are looking really red hot at the moment, and they've really galvanized in terms of their attack. So we could, it's unlikely that we'll pick them up now, because they're only playing one game, although it is against Wolves. But in game week 78, they play Villa, but at home. Yeah, but we're not gonna look there for it. Yeah, and of course Salah and Robertson, they both have a single game this week, and obviously they are still fighting for something. But the potential for the double gamers is just higher. So you wouldn't want to bring Salah in now, for example.
Okay, I just want to touch. I forgot one man. Another Chelsea man in here is actually Madueke. He's continued to perform, and he actually got a goal and assist in this game. Win 5-0 against West Ham. So he could actually be a cheeky punt if you still have Chelsea slot and a midfielder slot, because he's going to take your midfielder slot, which is going to be annoying. And most of Wildcard already have 3 Chelsea players who unlikely going to have space for Madueke, but he could be potentially at 5.3 million. So who knows, right? You have a spot. Chelsea on the right, even though later we see the picture, they are playing both away this week. But we cannot deny the form that Chelsea are having right now. So who knows? It looks out of nowhere. Can I say Chelsea have a chance for European race?
Yeah, they play Forest at home first. Forest, who are hosting, but Forest are, as you know, they're still fighting for survival. I think they need one. I think they just need one win. If they get one more win, that's it. They're safe. Yeah. Okay. So they're gonna try to secure that early. Yeah, they just need one game, one more match, and no, not necessarily, because if Luton win as well, then they still it'll be between Luton and Forest, and we know Luton are playing West Ham, so yeah, it's a must win. So I don't know if Chelsea are gonna find it a cakewalk either, because Forest are fighting for their lives.
No, it's gonna be a tough match for sure. And can I say Burnley is already out? They're somehow rather relegated. I don't know. I read this somewhere. Mathematically, they
no, they're hanging by the skin of their teeth. So the only way they will escape relegation is if Forest lose.
Okay.
Forest need to lose both matches,
Okay.
both the last matches, and Burnley need to win both the matches.
Oh,
That's how
which
it
is
works.
going to be
Because
tough.
yeah, Forest
The
is on
next match will
29
be tough.
points. Burnley is on 24. So 24 plus 6 is 30. That's the
Okay.
only way Burnley will overtake Forest if
But it looks unlikely, right? Because they're going to play for Spurs next.
Forest lose, Burnley are going to survive. So it really is between then they're out. Yeah. And yeah, Luton needs to win. But if Forest
Min, you're there?
yeah, it's my connection. Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, my connection.
Okay, all right. Min,
All
we
right.
go to the next topic, Min. All
So
right.
yeah. Okay. So very compact fixture ticker with only 2 game weeks to go. So the double gamers up there, and what I did mention at the start of way back before how the six back when we realized what the six double gamers were gonna be. Can you hear me?
Okay, sorry.
Can you hear me, Hafiz?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, I was saying if this drops again, I'm gonna switch to another line. But what I wanted to say was that a while back when we figured out what double gamers there were gonna be, so it was gonna be interesting. However, since that earlier statement, Brighton have now dropped out of the top 10, so they're no longer in the top 10. Yeah, but all the rest are still in the top 10. All those, the remainder of the 5 involved are still in the top 10. Brighton has dropped to 11 in the past, I think 2-3 game weeks ago. So it's still interesting, and teams who have things to fight for. So definitely worth investing because they're gonna try to get something and not just, and they're not on holiday. Yeah. So Brighton is the suspect, although them winning against Aston Villa made it a bit more interesting.
All right. Min, the fixture ticker is actually up here, right? Because my screen are not clear. So the
I
fixture
can
ticker
hear you.
is all right. We can see the fixture ticker, right? Min.
Yes.
Okay. I just read out first. In terms of fixture ticker, at the top, Spurs with 3 fixture, a nice one, Burnley first in game week 37, and then home to Man City is going to be tough. But 38, I still want to stay the context with 37 and 38. They're going to play away to Sheffield, which is still nice because they're going to play 2 promoted side. Spurs on top of the ticker. Second is Chelsea, but both are away in 37, Forest and Brighton, which is it's going to be tricky, but it's still decent. And then at home against Portman, which is a nice one, closing at the Stamford Bridge at the last game of the season. And then Newcastle, they're playing home Brighton and then away to Manchester, who looks slightly in dire form, and they could actually get a result away to Old Trafford, and then away again in 38 with Brentford, which is still not bad on paper. Man City, they're going to gun for that title, away to Fulham, away to Spurs, who they could actually get a result, and at home against West Ham United, who are looks like now parting away with from David Moyes, and they're going to have a new manager next season. And West Ham has been woeful in terms of form lately, so we expect Man City to going to win all the matches and going to play really a strong side for the next three. Brighton going to be a tricky one. Newcastle and Chelsea in 37, and then Manchester United at home in 38. But at least they play at home. We are not going to talk about Manchester United. It looks likely they are not informed, despite they play both home, Arsenal and Newcastle, and then away to Brighton. But if they say Bruno are out for this week, I think it's going to be tough for Manchester United team to perform. So in terms of top ticker, those are the teams. No surprise, they're playing double, so that's why all the 6 teams are up there. But single game week players, Forest could be a one to watch. Brentford, Palace is not bad, away to Wolves, but home to Villa. Arsenal should be somewhere up there, despite Manchester United, and then home to Everton. They will fight till the end. So, what do you think about the fixture ticker?
Yeah, no, I mean it really is the skew of the double gamers, because Arsenal that matchup looks really good. Manchester United and Everton. It's just that it's a double game for the rest. So Spurs, the good thing, at least they play Manchester City at home, but then given how horrible Spurs have been looking, I just can't see them getting a result against a City, rampaging City at the moment. So it's just a case of Burnley and Sheffield. Is that enough to outweigh the likely blank that you're gonna get from City? So it's almost effectively Spurs have a single game this week. so you're just looking at the Spurs versus Burnley game as where you're gonna get your points from. Chelsea away, Forest who are fighting for something, and Brighton who have nothing to fight for, and then followed by Bournemouth at home. It looks good, and the thing is, Chelsea are clicking really well at the moment. So the potential for hauling is there, and none of the teams that are facing are in the top 10 either. That's something to take note of. For Newcastle, the Manchester United's in the top 10. Brentford, who have now survived. So Newcastle again are in form, although they are still riddled by injuries. Now looks like Wilson might be out again. City, City, although away, I don't think it matters. If they're home and away, they're looking really good. It's just a case of how many goals that they need to score. Brighton, I really thought they were already at home, at the beach, but suddenly they turned up last week and to defeat Villa, although just by 1 goal, but still a win. Chelsea and Manchester United at home for the last 2 matches, so they look nice to finish 2 matches at home. Manchester United, suddenly they're running out of time to qualify for Europe. It looked good at one point. Now everything's a risk. So against Arsenal and Newcastle are both playing for something.
Casemiro and Johnny Evans are playing at the back against Crystal Palace. Doesn't bode well in terms of defense. And if let's say Bruno missing, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's a makeshift team, and the problem is those of us with and the problem with Manchester United is that I think those who wildcarded probably picked up Onana as the second keeper.
But I don't mind Onana because at least he got that safe point at least.
Okay. Yeah, he did get save points in the last game week. So it's just that for this double game, he may not get much. So because Arsenal and Newcastle are going to be attacking, and it's almost impossible for them not to score goals, even if they're playing especially playing at Old Trafford now. It's not a fortress.
All right. I think with that in mind, we're going to focus which best player to target, and most probably we are going to look at those 6 teams, the likes of Spurs, Newcastle, Chelsea, Man City, maybe lesser extent to Brighton and Manchester United. So we shall see best player to target. I just compile a group of players for us to discuss. Okay, I'm not sure whether this appearing, not appearing, right?
Appearing,
I think mine
appearing.
is
I can see it.
Is it?
Okay. I mean, I'll check on the YouTube, but right now on my stream it's appearing.
Yeah, I think my screen is stuck, so I cannot move to the next screen.
Oh, you gone back to the. Okay. Yep. Got it.
Okay, what's showing now? I think it's showing the fixture ticker still, right?
Testing. Testing. No, currently it's showing the game week 37 fixtures. Okay, you now
Okay,
now
all right,
now
all right. Okay, let me try to upload again. To
it's
load
showing
this
anymore.
again.
Give us a second if you're still there, viewers. There's a few of you watching. So apologies for the technical issues.
Yeah, this thing happened. Maybe my network also have issues. But if I cannot show
Hafiz,
this,
if you're there, I can see the game week 37 best players.
oh, you can see that.
Mm. Yeah.
Yep. I think it's
yeah,
good.
we're having technical
Right.
issues, guys. Apologies. Let's just get this corrected.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I'm
you
on
can
the
see
YouTube
here.
channel and I can see.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, these are the best players to target for this week. We go to the defenders first, man.
We've tuned out. Okay.
Okay, man. Can you hear me? Man? Can you hear me? Or you try to log? Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. So I just walked through these players, and in defense, at the top, if let's say you are looking for someone for defenders in category, I think Guardiola is the easier players for you to pick from Man City assets. He's been performing. He got at 15 points and also an assist last week. So Man City are gunning for the title, and in terms of attacking, Guardiola looks the one that the best punch from the Man City defense. That's why I feel if you need a defender for this week, Guardiola should be your first top pick. The second one is up in the air. I watch Fantasy Football Hub where Big Man Bakar mentioned that after Guardiola, he mentioned that Arsenal defense could be the best defender because looks like it that people from those double game week team are not keeping us expecting not to keep any clean sheet. But anyway, Arsenal defense is still in my list, but we just put there at the bottom because they're playing single game week. But they could easily getting more points from the double game week players. Second is Chelsea defense. Gusto might not uncertain in terms of his playing time. So Cucurella or even Chaloba, I think at 4.3 million, Cucurella 4.8 million. I think that's a decent shout for Chelsea defense. Away to Forest and Brighton, tricky on paper, but who knows? Chelsea can continue to keep their form and getting a clean sheet or even attack a return. Third one, Dan Burn, representative from Newcastle defense. But Azmin, we did discuss maybe Livramento or Hall. If let's say we got news that Trippier are not playing or not back into squad, he could actually be the one that we can target at 4.0 or 4.2 million. After that, Spurs defense, if you don't have Poro, they could be option. At least for that first game against Burnley, we should target Romero for their attacking return, attacking threat. So that's in terms of defense. Min, we talk about defense first. What do you think? I think I lost Azmin there. Min, can you hear me? Okay.
Your audio's cut out again. Don't know. It's looking ridiculous at this moment. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Maybe try to log in back, Min.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay lah. Let me try logging in. Right.
Okay. All right. In midfield, we can see uh, that the usual suspect here, Palmer as number one. I think everyone gonna have him. Son also because playing Gordon. Yeah, Newcastle midfield still look decent in terms of fixture. They're playing Brighton and then Manchester United. And Gordon, if let's say Trippier out, he's going to take that set pieces, and he looks that possess that talisman status for Newcastle team. And after Gordon, Foden or KDB is depending on which budget that you have. The KDB could be your differential pick. Foden looks like that everyone gonna have it. I think his ownership is like 30% right now, 30% plus. And then you can take a punt in terms of Brighton assets. Gross and Enigra could be one that you can target. And then the one that people are talking right now, Richarlison. He came off the bench against Liverpool and scored 1 goal and 1 assist. So, Min, can you hear me?
Yep. Loud and clear.
Yeah, okay. So I just talked about the midfield position. We I also talk about a defender position before that. Maybe we can just talk about defenders. I read here Guardiola as the first pick. What do you think?
I'll just I'll just do a quick one. So it's quite I think it's quite damning that I guess there are a lot of uncertainty with City, and it looks like Guardiola has turned out to be the right option. So those who wildcarded into him, well done. So whether or not it's still viable at this point, yeah, sure, you just won't get as many as the people who have already got him. So I guess for Dan Burn, Poro Romero, nothing unusual really. Cucurella Chalobah is a case of, are they going to keep a clean sheet? Although we have seen them last week, win 5-0, so it is possible because they look good. At the moment towards the tail end. Much about the strength of Arsenal as it speaks about the sadness of Manchester United, because Manchester United are having a double game for crying out loud, and yet we're recommending Arsenal defenders. It just shows how decimated the Manchester United squad is with injuries. So midfield, so nothing much to mention. Most of them are expected. It's just the gross Adingra. If we, will we see the end of season resurgence for Brighton? So it would be nice to see. If you can you go back to the fixture ticker, Hafiz?
Okay.
I just want to point out that for Newcastle, The first game for Game Week 37 is their last match at home. So they're definitely gonna want to really put on a show for the Newcastle fans. So if you already have Gordon, and if you have space for midfielder and you don't have Gordon yet, then Gordon might be an option for you. Yeah.
Yep.
So they're the only team in the double games who are in this position. So disappeared again. Okay. So, but of course, Spurs have both Burnley and Manchester City at home, but the last game being at home being Manchester City, it doesn't bode well for them anyway. Yeah, so that Newcastle field, then Gordon might be something you want to consider. Okay, so you can go back to the previous screen. Yep.
All right. So last but not least, we want to talk about forwards. I think Haaland and Isaac is no-brainer. Those are the two players that are performing, and you should have them if you don't have them yet. The third one, yes, Nicholas Jackson, because based on form. I can see there for the last 6 game week, just a quick stats. Haaland scored 7 goals, 1 assist. He already have 48 points for those from the last 6 game weeks. Isaacs, 6 goals, 1 assist, 44 points. And the third one, Jackson, with 4 goals and 3 assists, with total 42 points. And after that, Alvarez, which is that 20 plus points, which is far away from these 3 strikers. So I feel this is the top 3. But if let's say you do not have slot for that Nicholas Jackson, because you start with 3 Chelsea player to defense in terms of keeper, defender, and midfield. So maybe Callum Wilson, if he's not injured, there's rumors that he's actually injured right now. We shall see in terms of the tip news. Could be a good one. Newcastle double up with Isaac up front. João Pedro scored a goal from the penalty, but he actually looks like a penalty taker for Brighton. Who knows? He's cheap, right? 5.2 million, somewhere there. And last but not least, Højlund, but I'm not sure I'm going to recommend that. But at least Højlund played 2 game week this game week 37. So what do you think, mean in terms of forwards?
Yeah, I'll knock off Højlund. It doesn't look. It's just too hard to think that Højlund might be a good option at this stage. I am curious about Pedro though. So Pedro could be a really decent option. We know that. Sure, you can call him penalty taker merchant, but he gets just like Palmer at the start of the season. He does get these penalties, so nothing wrong with that. You can still capitalize on that. The other 3, aside from Wilson, Haaland, Isaac, Nicholas Jackson. That is the front 3 of most game week 35 wildcarders at this point. Yeah, so that's no surprises there.
I guess those are the team that the players that you should target for game week 37. But there is no harm for you to go for a single game week if let's say you have Arsenal players. I think if you still have Saka, I don't think you should transfer out for any double game week players aside that Palmer or Son, or even to an extent Foden. I think if I have Saka right now, or even Havertz, I'm going to continue play them. And against Manchester United, I actually heard on front FPL Wire from late riser did mention, if Manchester lost 0-3 to Arsenal, he considered a good result.
Yep. Wow, that bad, huh?
So that's how they categorize the Manchester United team right now. And he's actually a Manchester United fan. So need to take into account. Let's go to this game week 37 fixture, man. Can you see this?
Yep. Yep. You can.
So the fixture here, we already talked about the double game week players, Man City. So Man City gonna have Fulham and Spurs.
Yep.
But what else that we have in terms of single game week players? Maybe we can just mention one or two. Bournemouth plays Brentford. If you start with Solanke, I don't know against Brentford. Maybe you just try your luck. This game. Who knows Bournemouth versus Brentford, but it's not going to be exciting. Everton versus Sheffield United, another game that we expected Everton to win their last home game for this season, so they want to go big. Who knows? Keep a clean sheet. You have Pickford, you have Brentford, Tarkowski. You start with them. You just play
Brentford.
them against United. Newcastle versus Brighton. We already touched about that. Spurs, Burnley, a money ball game. The first game week. Spurs at home. And then West Ham versus Luton. The last game for David Moyes. I already touched about him leaving West Ham. But against Luton, who are desperate for points. So I'm not sure about West Ham. They're also not at the right form. Wolves versus Palace. Interesting. Wolves, Palace, nothing to play. But they both, uh, can I say, they are also not going to sit back. They're going to try to attack. And this could be a high scoring game.
Yep.
And then we have Forest against Chelsea on Saturday midnight. Manchester United versus Arsenal. We already touched easily the biggest game week, the biggest headline for this game week 37. Then we have Villa versus Liverpool, single game week. Not sure if, let's say, you still have Watkins. Maybe you're going to play against Liverpool, but looks likely people are going to jump off and go for Jackson. So, man, any interest in terms of game week 37 fixture?
Fantasy wise, yeah, I mean, we've pretty much talked about the one. So it's really that case of just now what you mentioned, any single gamer value there. So obviously with Everton, if you have Brentford, Pickford, you just keep them. You wouldn't sell them. But if there's anyone worth holding, I don't know. If you have Olise, you might want to hold on to him and not sell him because Wolves look like toast at the moment. They're on the beach. Yeah, but other than that, there isn't any possibility. Although I want to mention, if you have Liverpool assets, and the thing with one thing is, of course, you saw a good return to form by Liverpool. At the same time, Aston Villa lost one to Brighton. But more importantly, Aston Villa have a match tonight. They're playing Olympiacos. So it's
away, right?
Yeah, so it's away. Yes, and it's away. So it's interesting. Although to be fair, their match against Liverpool is only on Monday night, so it's still quite far away. Yeah, but the point is they are playing in a game that you'll expect them to go all out to overturn a deficit, but it's a bad deficit. I think they need to score 3 goals at least to win. Yeah, and not concede any goals. Yeah, so so it's interesting there. It does put an interesting dynamic for the single gamers. Other than that, that's it.
Min, I just want to pose a question here because they are talking about the single game week on Nori. Rakat FPL did mention keep or sell Nori for double game week. Even MC Chong did ask about Nori. I think Nori good for this double game week. What do you think, Min?
I disagree. I don't see, Palace are looking really strong at the moment. And Wolves, although previously they have looked good, but they're not looking very strong at the moment. I thought they would put up a fight in the last game against Manchester City, but of course, City being City, they just whacked them through. They did win in game week 35 against Luton 2-1, but again, that was against Luton. So against a much stronger side in Palace, I'm not sure Altnori is worth it at the moment.
All right, stuff. Let's go to Captain Pick for this week, man. Game week 37 points prediction. No surprise. 3 Man City assets is in the top 5. Haaland predicted to score 15.5 points. Second is Son, 13.1. They're playing Burnley and then City himself, but both at home. I said against Brighton and Manchester United. And if let's say Wilson out, I said should be the playing the forefront for Newcastle, and then to lesser extent Foden and KDB in top five. Min, looks like everyone going to go Haaland, but you're going to go different, right, Min? So who's you going to be your pick?
I mean, it's I've got nothing to do. So, Isaac, I talked quite a lot about Newcastle, so I might go Isaac. Yeah. Unless if I feel that City is gonna be better in any way, then I might go Foden. But we've seen that the thing with Haaland is that is based on his performance last week. We do feel that he's motivated by the golden boot. So he may want to. He's gonna try to put up, win that. Yeah. So Haaland might still be the best captaincy option. For those who want to punt, then go for Isaac or a Foden. Definitely not Son.
I think Haaland is what everyone gonna go, especially if you're going safe. But if you want to make ground, you want to cut that 30-point gap against your mini league leader. I think I said yes, maybe Son not so much, but I still feel that he can also be an option. And Palmer, he's not in this top five, so who knows? But both are away, Forest away and Brighton away. But Palmer still the key person, and he's hunting for that golden boot. But I think now Haaland is on 25 goals, if I'm right, and the rest is at 21. So they are far apart right now.
The gap is just by one match. Unless Palmer does a 4-goal thing this week as well.
Which is unlikely, right? Okay. All right. These are the things. I think we should, if you want to take punt, I think Isaac could be the first option after that Haaland, because who knows, against Brighton they score big. And Son, maybe at home against Burnley, he could actually do some damage, maybe.
No lah, I don't trust Spurs right now. They're just too volatile. Who knows what's going on with Spurs?
All right,
I mean, look at this. Liverpool were there for the taking last week. Liverpool were rubbish. So, but Spurs look so bad.
All right, good stuff. Let's go to our team, Min. I'll go to my team first.
Yep.
I'm not sure it's showing or not. Okay, all right. So as you can see, my team, I got 0.1 million. I got 0.1 million in the bank. I got 2 free transfer. And as you can see, my team, I have 14 doublers right now and 1 single game week players in the form of Gabriel. I just read out my team: Petrovic and Onana in goal, because I'm going to bench push this week. Walker, Gabriel, Poro, and Shah and Maguire is the one on red flag which I need to address. Palmer, Bruno Fernandes, Gordon, Foden, Son, Isaac and Haaland, and Jackson as my front 8. So Shah and Maguire is the one that I need to address first, because Bruno, maybe he's going to be fit, but if he's not, then maybe the next option is someone like Richarlison. That is the one that community has been talking about. So I have that Spurs slot. Maybe Richarlison could come in, but if Bruno fit, then I'm gonna leave it out. I just try not to take so much hit for this week. I just use my 2 free transfer. If Shah Maguire, it could be in the form of Burn from Newcastle, and Romero could be another pick if I'm not going for Richarlison, because I have 1 slot free for Spurs asset. And who knows, against Burnley, Romero could pop up with a goal, or if I'm lucky, 2 goals, 1 goal and assist, and playing Burnley, and it's just a nice feature. But against Man City, I'm not going to expect so much. So that's my plan, man. Burn and Romero, but it's depending on Bruno Fernandes situation too.
Yeah, I don't know. You want to pick up a third Spurs player for the sake of the Spurs player, but I don't know what other options that you have, lah. Because that, I mean, because you are looking to replace just defender options. So yeah, I guess that will do. Um, I guess the question I have is, what if Fernandez is out? What's your plan?
I think it's going to be tough, but looks likely Bruno to Richarlison. Then I have to adjust whether Romero is not going to be a pick anymore. I don't know whether I'm going to go double defense is Arsenal and then just go cheap like Livramento, but it's all depend on Trippier news.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's a lot of maybe, but certainly I'm not going for any Manchester United asset. No, I don't think so.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, that's my team. Let's go to your team, man. Which is
so
is
at
it
the
up?
moment, as it stands, I also activated my bench boost. I have zero in the bank. So my problem is Maguire is busted and he's only 4.1 unit anyway. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 4 single claimers and Maguire. So the question is, how do I optimize? And although I was loath to admit it, but it looks like selling Salah for this one might be a better option. He did well last week, but I think this week despite the fact that Villa are distracted by Europe, he may not be the best option. So and something we talked about before the stream, KDB is starting to look really attractive to me at the moment, and it will give me the funds to upgrade Maguire. And if I'm feeling adventurous, I may even take another hit and -8. Yeah, so it's something that I've been thinking about with regards to, because this is a bench boost week,
Right.
so the hits might balance out depending on who I'm bringing in. So
Understand.
I was thinking, although I haven't figured out the Maguire, but if I sell Salah for KDB, it gives me a fair bit of money, which I can use to upgrade Muniz. And if I'm upgrading Muniz as well, I mean Maguire, yes, to someone who's playing, let's say whether it's a Brighton player or Hall or Livramento, depending. But for Maguire, for Muniz, I'm seriously looking at Pedro at the moment. I think that Pedro might actually come good, and it's not a pick that's going to be picked by most, because most people have the wildcarders have Jackson, in his place. But for me, I have options, and I might go Pedro. So we'll see.
Yep, sounds nice. But I think we discussed. I think the only fund that you can actually use is by selling Salah, right? So if not, your budget is gonna be tight. So I think I like that KDB pick, because not everyone can go there, because they feel by the Edison spot or the Guardiola spot. So that could be your differential pick, man, which I like.
Yep.
All right. Let's take some question, man. Bruno to Richarlison. We already talked about that. That's the one that people are talking. Spurs fans are expecting Richarlison to start, and who knows, he's going to be against Burnley, right? What do you think, man?
Yeah, go for Richarlison. Why not? You really are hoping for that Burnley match, but that Burnley match looks good for points.
Burn or Guardiola? We already discussed in the stream. Guardiola is a top pick for defender this week, at least for me. What do you think, man?
Yep, Guardiola has come out as the best City pick for this week. So yeah.
I said for captain, if you're going for differentiate, you want to catch up your mini league leader, I think this could be the point that you need to make, and looks likely Azmin going to do that.
I don't know. Obviously, yeah, I'm thinking. I like the idea, but now if I bring in KDB, although to be fair, KDB's but ownership is about 18%.
Oh,
Pedro
okay,
is much less.
okay.
So maybe I got that's one too many differentials. So I might just go Haaland anyway.
Madueke thought we did discuss if you have a spot. Madueke could be differential in midfield, and he's at 5.3 million. So, but it's not gonna be easy to feel that way.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. Yeah, if you have the Chelsea slot, why not? If you don't trust the Chelsea defense, go for it. Go for Madrid.
Someone that you have in your team, Gusto. Do you think that is it worthwhile to transfer sideways to
Nah,
Cucurella?
I don't think so. Yeah, not worth it. Might as well just keep.
Yes. Who knows? He start one of the game, right? Who knows? Hmm. Poro or this question they want to compare with Guardiola. The first question is actually between Burn against Guardiola. But how about Poro over or Guardiola? I still feel Guardiola has the bigger potential because Man City has better chance of keeping clean sheet.
Yeah, so in terms of that potential, definitely City are looking the better team at the moment, and the chances for keeping the clean sheet is better. Uh, Spurs could keep one clean sheet against Burnley. We don't know. The thing with Poro though is that Madison has been not good. So as a result, we've seen Poro taking more of the free kicks, and more because Madison has been poor. So Poro might be a decent pick just for this week.
All right, we are coming to the end of the stream, main, and I would like to remind everyone, game week 37 deadline will be not on Friday, okay? It will be on Saturday, and will be at 6 p.m. because we know at 7:30 p.m. Malaysian time, Fulham will play Man City, and who knows, we're going to get team lead if you're still thinking which Man City asset to bring in, right? Min, what do you think?
Oh God, I hate City being the first match. It's terrible. Yeah. I mean, if I because now I'm considering KDB, so I definitely, I don't want to have suddenly find out. I mean, the thing with this game is that they are traveling, so there should be leaks in terms of who's traveling. So
Oh,
if KDB
okay,
if
all right.
KDB is traveling, then why wouldn't he start? Yeah. Just one thing to point out is I'm curious. Even though I'm being swayed by selling Salah, I I'm cu- I will wake up tomorrow morning and first thing I'll do is check that Aston Villa game and see
Okay,
what happened.
okay,
Yeah.
understand, understand. All right, Min.
All right.
Is that your last word?
Yep. That's it. See you on the other
All right.
side.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Do support us by hitting the like button and also subscribe to our FPL Jedi YouTube channel and to click that bell notification whenever we are live. So take care, guys, and good luck. This is a big game week for everyone. The last game week and activating bench boost is a thing that we are actually going to do this week and get that reward. So hopefully a green arrow for
We do get
everyone.
rewards. Yeah.
Take care.
It won't be for
Bye
everyone,
bye.
but yeah. Bye bye. I know, Boleh green. Oh, it's still online.
Sorry.
Still live.
It was